Hello, welcome to my COMS 5 persuasive speech. Let's begin. So, I want to do an activity with you guys. Take 5 to 10 seconds to think of somebody who has hurt you before. This can be either your friend, ex partner, family members, mom, dad, neighbors, it can be anybody. And think of the harm that they caused you. Think of the effects it had on you. And I want to ask you, have you forgiven them? Or is there resentment, hate, anger still within your heart? Holding on to resentment, grudges, and hate results in health problems and keeps us in the past. Therefore, forgiving those who have harmed us leads to a healthier lifestyle and brings peace within our lives. In this speech, I will prompt you to think, feel, and believe differently on a person who has hurt you before, and persuade you to live a healthy, peaceful lifestyle by 1. Letting go of resentment, and by 2. Forgiving those who have harmed you. Holding on to resentment withholds your peace and creates unhealthy anger, anxiety, and other health problems. However, by forgiving, all these things can be avoided. Withholding this resentment results in chronic anger, which then, according to John Hopkins, puts you in a fight or flight mode, which results in numerous changes in heart rate, blood pressure, and immune response. An expert in stress management and psychology, Rachel Feldman, also states that chronic anger can take a daily toll on your cardiovascular health and immune system. Not only that, but it also but the injuries and the trauma keep intruding on your thinking and keep you in a state of hypervigilance and alarm. The list of effects from withholding this resentment doesn't stop there. According to Michael Schroeder from US News, chronic anger has been linked to obesity, low self-esteem, migraines, drugs and alcohol abuse, depression, sexual performance problems, and higher blood pressure, stroke, and the list continues on. The list of effects seems to continue on without an end, and the effects can take a toll on your health physically and mentally. Basically, feeling bad is bad for you, as Rachel Feldman states. But this can be avoided. You can learn to forgive, which leads me to my next point, learning to forgive. Learning to forgive is not a timed process or a straight road, and it can be accomplished through many different ways and techniques. Learning to forgive isn't universally the same for everybody, but there is something that everybody should know before starting the process of forgiving. And it happens to be explained by Jessica Cassidy that forgiveness is not releasing the offender for legal obligations. It is not condoning or excusing, which implies there's a justification. It is not forgetting or refusing to remember that event. It is not reconciling, which implies that there's restored trust and contact, and it's not pretending that everything's fine. More often than wanted, the word forgive is misinterpreted as all these things, as accepting or forgetting the harm that has been caused to you, and this is the main reason why people avoid the word forgive, furthermore, avoid forgiving. According to Mayo Clinic, also the best hospital in the nation for 2019-2020, suggests some ways to forgive, which include recognize the value of forgiveness and how it can improve your life. You know the negative effects that it's having on your health. You know there's no good with holding onto this, so why let it continue on doing so? Why allow it to control your life? Identify what needs healing and who needs to be forgiven and for what. What part in you needs healing? You may see yourself as a victim, but assess the situation correctly, analyze it, and most likely you might be blaming yourself that's for something that is out of your control. Consider joining a support group or seeing a counselor. There's professional help out there, including our school, who can guide you to a right path, and there's groups who can share their personal stories and ultimately change the way you look at your situation. And acknowledge your emotions about the harm done to you and how they affect your behavior, and work to release them. Do they cause you to be in a bad mood or cause you bad temper? Do they join you every day and make your day bad? Now, choose to forgive the person who's offended you. You might choose to directly tell this person face to face verbally, or you might do it by yourself. You can also send letters, a message, something like that. Now, Andrea Brandt, a family therapist who has over 35 years of clinical experience, also suggests the following to forgive somebody. Acknowledge the growth you experience as a result of what happened. What did it make you learn about yourself or about your needs and boundaries? Sometimes bad situations can teach you good things. Think about this. Now think about the other person. He or she is flawed because all human beings are flawed. Humans make errors. That's what makes us humans. There's no perfect human being. We all make mistakes, and maybe their mistakes weren't intentional. Sometimes a person deserves another chance. Lastly, think of a time where you were the one who hurt someone. How did that person react towards you? Did they forgive you? How did you feel? Did you get a second chance? Maybe after placing yourself in someone else's place, might you be encouraged to forgive someone? Forgiving isn't something that happens overnight. And my place here is not to tell you what to do, because you're the only one who knows the harm that's been caused to yourself. And this can take a lifetime to do, but it's never too late to do so. But I hope that in the very least you think about it for a bit. I hope you haven't moved by this to maybe not go straight ahead and call somebody, text them or something, because that's a big step. But just considering this option of forgiving somebody, considering it is a small step towards this big process. Now you know the harm that it is causing you, some steps that you can take to assess the problem, because holding on to resentment and grudge and hate keeps you away from your peace and away from a good healthy lifestyle. Now I want to show you something that might help you when you have been harmed and think about forgiving. It is this quote: "Sometimes holding on does more damage than letting go." Sometimes holding on to this resentment causes you to be in a bad place, to be in a bad mood, bad health. But letting go might be the best option for you. That's the end of my speech. Thank you for listening.